Hello, my name is Kathleen Alford, and I work at the Tennessee Aquarium Conservation Institute, the research arm of the aquarium. Today I want to talk to you about a really cool conservation project that we're working on with Lake Sturgeon. These prehistoric river giants used to be abundant in the Tennessee River, but by the 1960s this species was completely extirpated or extinct from the state of Tennessee. Some of the things that make this fish so interesting are the facts that they've been around since the dinosaurs were here. They have a sucker mouth with no teeth they use to suck up food from the bottom of the river, and they do not have scales, but instead they have bony plates called scutes for protection. Welcome to Tennessee. This is the warehouse where the Tennessee Aquarium Conservation Institute staff raises fish for release, performs experiments, and conducts genetics research and other types of science. We prepare all of the food for our fish in this area. Baby lake sturgeon come to Tennessee when they're about a ½ inch long, and they spend the summer growing to 6 inches long. This is the size that we can release them into the river. While they're here, they eat a diet of bloodworms, krill, and brine shrimp. There are a number of reasons why lake sturgeon were extirpated from the state of Tennessee, included overfishing, the construction of dams, and water pollution. Currently, all 3 of these causes of decline are under control. Lake sturgeon were overharvested for the caviar production industry. Caviar is the technical term for fish eggs when they're used for human food, and it's considered a delicacy in many parts of the world. It's currently illegal to harvest lake sturgeon in Tennessee. If you catch one while fishing, you can report that capture to TWRA, but you must release the fish unharmed as quickly as possible, and you are not allowed to keep the fish. In 1972, the Environmental Protection Agency passed the Clean Water Act, and that legislation went a long way toward cleaning up the water across the country, as well as in Tennessee. Because of legislative protection like this, it is now once again clean enough for lake sturgeon to swim in the waters of the Tennessee River. The construction of dams across the world has negatively impacted many aquatic species by inhibiting migration and changing water quality both above and below the dams. TVA has changed the way that they control dams in our area in an effort to make the water flow and temperature better for fish health. With these 3 major causes of decline under control, it seemed appropriate to start returning lake sturgeon back into Tennessee waters. In 1998, a group of partners got together and made a plan for restoring this species to our state. One of the first things to consider was where to get lake sturgeon, since they no longer live in Tennessee. Well, the best solution they found was Wisconsin. Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has been gracious to partner with the Tennessee Lake Sturgeon Working Group for many years and allows us to get fertilized eggs from the water of their state. In the spring, when the water begins to warm, lake sturgeon spawn in the shallow, rocky areas of many rivers in Wisconsin. Spawning occurs in large groups called pods, and because they are close to the shore, it's relatively easy to capture the fish using large dip nets, like the one you see here, and bring them to land to assess their health and sexual maturity. Once they're on shore, we can measure their length, weight, and check them for tags that mark them as individuals. These fish are true river giants, with many of the Wisconsin fish being over 6 feet long. Some individuals in Canada have been reported to be 9 feet long. Now that is a big fish. When a female is located in a pod and captured, she's ready to spawn. When her belly is massaged, the eggs are squeezed out into a metal bowl, and these eggs will be fertilized, and the babies that are made will populate the waters of Tennessee. Eggs are placed into 5 different bowls and fertilized with sperm from 5 different males collected in the same area. Once fertilized, the eggs are transferred into a special trailer full of water that's used to transfer them from Wisconsin all the way to the Warm Springs National Fish Hatchery in Warm Springs, Georgia. This is a long drive, 27 hours. That is a full day of driving. It takes about a week after the eggs arrive at the hatchery until they hatch. Once they are about a ½ inch long, they can be distributed to hatcheries across the southeast for grow-out. This project is a huge partnership between many government agencies, conservation nonprofits, and educational institutions. In the last 14 years, the partnership has been able to release over 150,000 lake sturgeon into the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers. Of course, release days are always very exciting. Fish are hauled in special boxes from the hatchery to the French Broad River in Knoxville. Students often come to assist with the releases and learn about the program. Once sturgeon are released into the river, they're on their own to find food and shelter and safety from predators. Once they're 6 inches long, they're relatively safe from predators because they won't fit in many fish's mouths, and that's why we wait this long. It's important for researchers in the partnership to recognize our fish when they're recaptured during monitoring efforts. One way that we can do this is through scute removal. Scutes are the bony plates on the sides, tops, and bellies of lake sturgeon, and when lake sturgeon are small, these scutes can be removed, much like you clipping your fingernails. Each year, a different scute number is removed from the entire group of fish that are being released so that we know their age. Well, besides growing lake sturgeon at Tennessee for release, another way that the Tennessee Aquarium partners on this project is by displaying sturgeon throughout our buildings and educating over 700,000 guests each year on sturgeon conservation. The River Giants exhibit is one place that you can see a sturgeon at the aquarium. This exhibit is full of large species of freshwater fish from all over the world, and because lake sturgeon are one of our local river giants, it's an interesting fish to showcase and display and tell our guests about the megafauna in their own backyard. One of the most interactive exhibits at the Tennessee Aquarium is the Lake Sturgeon Touch Tank. This exhibit gives us the opportunity to interact with guests and tell the story of lake sturgeon decline and reintroduction in Tennessee. As visitors tour the aquarium, they get the chance to actually stick their hand in the cool water and touch a lake sturgeon. How cool is that? The coin drop is another place where lake sturgeon are the poster child. Not only is it fun, but every penny collected through this activity goes to support conservation activities at the Tennessee Aquarium. Another way that we partner on the Lake Sturgeon project is by partnering with local schools to do fish in the classroom programs. Each year, the 5th graders at Gap Creek Elementary in Knoxville raise a lake sturgeon in their classroom, learn about the Lake Sturgeon program, and attend a release event. This type of hands-on activity really helps students understand the importance of conservation activities and grow up to be better environmental stewards. We are really excited to have you as a partner on the Lake Sturgeon project. The work that you will be doing to spread the news about this program and educate guests as they visit our facility is invaluable. Thank you for giving of your time and talents to help us help Lake Sturgeon.